Hello, party people. It is July 12th. Welcome to Wake Up Missoula, and as you can tell by my tone, it's not that kind of party. Welcome to the morning show. I do this once a week on MCAT channel 189, but if you watch this on YouTube, great! I need more views. So we're going to talk about some news, some weather. We're going to talk about the city council a little bit. A lot of things happening in the city of Missoula as I put all the information from the week into one day. I got Dubbin Stuff, and I got a little tease for today's live show. Going to be airing today at 5 p.m. here at MCAT for our Time Travelers Camp, starring the kids of Time Travelers Camp. So we're going to show some documentaries we filmed out at Fort Missoula and more. So let's kick things off with a little bit of weather. It looks like the weather is starting to improve, but you can expect those flash rains to happen Saturday night with heavy rain into the 40 percentile. It is currently 64 degrees, and today is going to be highs into the 90s, so we're going to see some 90-degree temperatures going through the weekend. But of course by Monday things are going to start cooling off again, but this might be the perfect weekend to get an early float in on Saturday. Today, if you have the day off, it'll be a good chance to do that as well. It's going to be mostly clear, mostly sunny today, so today is the chance to get out and about, because by Sunday there's going to be chances of showers, then heavy rain also continuing from Saturday night through Sunday. All right, let's talk about some of the items that are happening in the news today. One of the big things is that Ward 5, Julie Armstrong, is out. She will be not running for re-election for her second term in the City Council Ward 5. So City Council held a special meeting on Wednesday to discuss whether or not to pull it out of a primary election. Originally, the City Council wanted to do a primary election to help curve the have more of a one-on-one kind of voting structure for this nonpartisan type seat. There's no party lines, and usually with this primary ballot, the cost would have been $51,000, which now the cost is about $41,000, which would consist of wards 1, 3, and 4 for the primaries. Ward 4 is one of the most heated contested wards in Missoula, as last time Jesse Ramos ran for that ward, and there were about 4 or 5 people in that ward as well. What started out as too late to bow out turned into disqualifying herself when she she basically canceled the check of $154.72, which is the processing money to be put on the ballot for an upcoming election as well. So far, Ward 5, it will be an open election between John Contos and Alex Frigario, which is, since it's only 2 seats, the city just determined that it's unnecessary to have a primary for only 2 people. The city plans to spend $41,000 on the primary election to help narrow the candidates to 2 people in the upcoming November election, but of course, as of June 18th, 16 candidates have filed for election this coming election. So they're going to be in the primary, and then once the primary is done, they'll be narrowing it up, and you'll be getting, this is all mail-in ballot, so if you live in your respective ward, you'll get a ballot, but if you didn't get a ballot, you can always go through the county clerks of the county, and then you can actually the city clerk, and you can get your information in there to get this in, so you can get registered. The University of Montana gets funding to develop opioid addiction vaccines. So this is an opioid vaccine to basically prevent any kind of connection from the opioid through your blood system get inside your brain, which usually is one of the leading causes to opioid addiction and substance abuse as well. But of course, what has become the face of prescription drug abuse, opioids, have many medical centers have been tasked with better ways to combat the highly addictive legal drug. On Tuesday, the University of Montana received a $3.3 million contract from the National Institutes of Health to develop a vaccine targeting opioid addiction. Dr. Jay Evans, the director of the Center of Translational Medicine, said opioids span a number of different drugs, including heroin, oxycodone, and synthetic drugs like fentanyl. The antibodies this vaccine would generate will bind fentanyl to the bloodstream and prevent it from crossing the blood-brain barrier, thus preventing the sources of addiction that comes from getting high from these drugs. So basically, imagine a vaccine that prevents you from getting high. And that's kind of what the university is being tasked with developing. The $3.3 million grant will be going further, and they plan on doing human trials in the next 5 years. So it's going to be a while, but they still have to get it down. In big national news, Labor Secretary Alexander Acosta is stepping down after criticism over his role in a non-prosecution deal reached years ago with a well-connected businessman accused of sex crimes, Jeffrey Espin. Espin is accused of sexually abusing underage girls as young as 14 years old, some of which he was allegedly recruited in what prosecutors call a sex trafficking network. Acosta, the former Labor Secretary, spoke next to Trump, who praised him for his talents as the Secretary of Labor. In 2008, the then U.S. Attorney Acosta oversaw the agreement that permitted Espin to plead guilty to some related charges, but what critics have since called far too lenient. Acosta gave his own account and the circumstances of agreement in a new conference earlier this week. He said that his office hadn't stepped in. Espin would have enjoyed an even lighter punishment at the hands of the state or local authorities. During his time as head of the Labor Department, he has cut regulations and pushed for the expansion of apprenticeship programs. Trump defended Acosta's role as the Labor Secretary July 9th, saying that it's been really, really great. No details knowing if Alexander Acosta will appear in Congress in future on this matter. So that's kind of what's happening within your news. I have some videos I want to show you guys. We're going to kick things off with a little tease from our mockumentary that we made on Monday. So without further ado, here's Couch Time.
Well, I was just sitting there reading my book, and it just disappeared. It just disappeared. I fell down. I lost my page. It was really sad that I lost my page.
That day, it was a pretty normal day. Went out for a run, came back, took a shower, just wanted to relax on a nice, comfy black couch. And when I sat down, but then all of a sudden it disappeared, and I fell down.
What happened was, I was just watching YouTube on a computer, and then I looked over. The first time I had no clue. I thought that they were just tricking me. They said, "Oh yeah, the couch disappeared."
You good, bro? I lost my page. I lost my page. It was really sad that I lost my page. It was like someone just took it out from under me. I just don't know where it went. It just disappeared.
A little bit later, not a little bit, not like 2 minutes later, you know what I mean. I need to go call the police. So I dialed 911, and they said, yeah, couches are missing, probably because of the couch burglars.
We had this report from this boy. I think it was this 911 call. No, 911. That's right. And he was just freaking out. He said that the couch just disappeared somehow. So I didn't know what to say. He was just freaking out. So then talked to my brother. I was like, "Yo, Cash," and he was like, "What's up, bro?" And I was like, "We gotta go hunt these couches."
Tell me what happened with the couch you were being crazy about.
Did you ever really watch this one?
So it was here, you said? Yep, sure was a couch here.
I was like, "Yo, Cash," and he was like, "What's up, bro?" And I was like, "We gotta go hunt these couches." This couch, it was crazy. This one couch changed my life, scariest moment of my life.
So, what do you remember last?
I don't need your help!
We appealed, and I'm like, okay, this is upsetting. Later on, it disappeared again. And I was like, how?
I think it time traveled. They all call me crazy, but with what I've learned from time traveling, it's possible.
Yes. What have I heard about the time-traveling couch? Do you have any idea what the couch may look like?
It all makes sense. Everything in the entire world. Oh. But now, it's like they've been there our entire lives.
Ma'am, I found it! Ma'am, I found the page! Ma'am, are you okay? Yay, I found the page! I found the page! No! Is that? I know, it was. Where did the couch go?
I did see some professional couch researchers in here, and I think the government should spend most of their money on helping them research.
So, would you please, do you have any more conspiracies besides your couch?
Yes, conspiracies. So, you know how there are lizards.
Would you quit it? You're tickling my ear!
So, you've heard the thing about lizard people, right? Lizard people.
Yes.
Lizard people. I have proof that lizard people exist. You see? Do you believe me?
No, I don't.
You see, this is a lizard person baby.
Is that a stuffed animal?
No, see, it makes noises.
Yeah. You're crazy!
I'm not crazy.
I saw the couch again! I saw the couch again!
My warning for future generations. Don't buy a couch. Just look at it at the store. Stare at it. If it disappears, run away because they'll probably think that you stole it. And then
Never sit on a couch. Always sit on the nice recliner chair.
I'm coming for you. And hey, I never lost to any couch. Never.
Create a new religion based on couches. We have to protect ourselves from them.
Dummy! Well, leaving on a low note, that was a waste of time.
Hey guys, welcome back. Speaking of movies, there's a bunch of movies coming out this week that you may not have heard of because everyone is going to go see that Spider-Man movie. But anyways, let's get going. This movie is called Stuber. This movie is about a cop for some reason hires an Uber and they have an adventure between comedian and deadpan former wrestler Dave Bautista. Kamal Nanjiani as Stu in this movie called Stuber because reasons. Anyways, this movie will probably have to go on adventures with Stu. We'll strengthen him, because they have character development. He's just like, I gotta go ask this girl out, but I can't ask out this girl. And then it's like, oh, I'm a tough guy. I think with my gut. And then they kind of like trade ideals, blah, blah, blah. And then they have some kind of inside joke that turns into something that could save their lives in the future. I don't know. I've just seen too many buddy comedies where one person who's kind of like reluctant comedy boy is just like, oh, okay. And then the other guy's just like, bang, bang, bang. It's like, okay. Cool. And then one of them always has to like kind of get hurt, and then they have to like save the day, and there's like overcoming obstacles, whatever that is. All right, the next movie is So it's like Florida, the movie. So you like those kind of closed-off room thrillers where you're kind of stuck in a room where if you try to leave, you could die, and it's like basically an escape room, but imagine it with giant alligators. So this time alligators because during a hurricane, and alligators happen to be in the Florida area. Tsunamis are a Pacific Ocean thing. Remember that. Atlantic Ocean, because of the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricanes and whatnot. So, okay, Crawl is the name of this movie because alligators crawl on their bellies, and stars actors who are like, if you've ever seen any of these actors before, you're like, hey, I think I know you from somewhere, but I don't know. So enjoy this movie that's basically a sci-fi original movie that they injected some more money into, and it will be in the theaters. All right, yeah. So that's pretty much that. I do want to talk a little bit about social media real quick. I just want to remind you guys, if you want to learn more about my morning show, you can go to wakeupmissoula.wixsite.com/wakeupmissoula. You can also find me on YouTube. You can find me on the Facebook, and you can find me on the Twitter. All you got to do is Google Wake Up Missoula. Scott Ramf here to tell you everything that you need to know once a week about everything that's happening in and around Missoula, and especially MCAT. MCAT.org, your local resource for everything broadcast television. It's a good way for kids to get a foothold in television, but also if you are a person who is a low to no budget filmmaker, MCAT's the place to rent equipment, bring your equipment. The only catch is you have to put a program on our channel. Isn't that great? It's that easy. All you got to do is come on down anytime during our public hours. But right now, since we're doing all these summer camps, most of our public hours are kind of closed for the month of July. We'll be starting up again starting in August, which is kind of technically like the first last week in July, which is like maybe like the 31st, and then it goes to August 1st, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into it. It's too complicated, but just think of August as the month for you guys to get started, because usually it's the lull of the summer. There's not much going on here, and it's a good opportunity to make movies. Make movies such as what I'm about to show you. This is from the movie Bloody Pit of Horror. So without further ado, here's this, and when I come back, I'm going to talk about your city council report, so stay with me.
I can't believe I have to deal with this on the day of my second cousin's moida. Come on now, child. It's time for you to stop grieving. I'm here for you. Let's get on going. Come on now. Come on. We're going to have some fun. Let's put some more clothes on now.
Do I have to?
If I said it once, I said
Man,
it
women always go into the bathroom together. It's, obnoxious. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. It's becoming a real sausage fest in here. Well, boys.
Well, you just can't leave just yet.
Well, to be honest, I'm an introvert. See you guys.
Well, wake up back.
Well, you can't just leave yet.
We still got lots of party games.
Yeah,
and all
well,
sorts
I
of
don't
stuff
know.
to going on here.
Party games? Well, it all depends on this answer. Apples to apples or Cards Against Humanity? Which one is it? Oh, well, I got both. I got both of those games. Well, it seems kind of desperate if you really think about it. Having both games, you know? On one side, you're going to have wholesome fun. On the other, dirty. I'm like on my third outfit change, and I still can't find anything to wear. But, you know, maybe I'll just wear less. Oh, man, it's like this belt doesn't do anything. Well, here you go. Down the hallway, there's more ladies to hang out with. So, ladies, how's it going? Are you, having a good time? Because, you know...
I have a boyfriend just so
Okay, listen here, lady. I'm not really interested in dating you. I just met you girls. And besides, not all guys who, Well, I'm Patty Pancake. You can talk to me if you want to. I have a girlfriend, just so you know. Oh, wow. Talk about double standards, right? All I want to do is have a conversation. Forgive me for being blunt. Go on. I grew up with a single mom, so I know how to talk to women. So, what's wrong with you women? I'm sure you'll find something. I'm a nice guy. I like to talk about things and stuff. It's not so difficult. It's just like, hey, Steve, this isn't really a good time to be talking about this kind of stuff in front of the girls. Whoa, dude. What's going on in here? Look, I just took this photo of my pancakes. What do you think? I really like the contrast between the light and like the shadows. What do you think? Did you use a filter, my boy? Because it kind of looks like you used a filter. See here? I can see a hashtag with your words on it and whatnot, and it says no filter, but I swear, there's a filter on this picture. You sure about that? The picture itself has no filter, but I did put a couple lines of dialogue on it. Sometimes you can't be too good at something that you do.
Well, you know what this camera shot means? L for L City Council. Let's talk about some City Council. Yeah, it's a stretch, but stay with me. What's happening now is that basically here's some little tidbits that were happening in the meeting. They had a special meeting from July 10th. The city voted in favor of not holding a primary for awards since there are only 2 candidates running. Budget Committee continues its finance for fiscal year 2020. Admin and Finance moves to get the TIF reimbursement to Hotel Mercantile, which is where the Marriott is in the downtown Missoula area. Of course, this quote I have right here is only one quote from the City Council meeting from July 8th. There's not much going on there, but of course, one of the obligations the city must fulfill as an entitlement city participating jurisdiction in the Community Development Block Grant, otherwise known as CBBG, a mouthful, Home Investment Partnership, known as HOME, programs is to preparation of a 5-year consolidated plan. Aaron Pian, Housing and Community Development Director, says that they need to focus on 4 elements, which include rental housing, home ownership, homelessness, and planning and administration. Aaron goes on to talk about focusing on the smaller areas such as low income and affordable housing as the main source, and emphasizing those low income areas in terms of finding the bigger chunks of areas that we can take a bite out of rather than, and we'll let Aaron explain.
On the feedback that we received from the community, we decided to really hone in and focus on a more collective action approach on those specific areas so we could have a deeper impact in a few areas instead of a more shallow impact in several areas. Makes sense.
All right, so that was Aaron Pian she was with Housing and Community Development. $750,000 of federal grants have been provided for this project thus far. Low-income and affordable housing has become a big staple in the city of Missoula in the past years, and Missoula wants to make sure that they're listening to the community at large, and most of this plan is based on community outreach and community planning, meetings, and public hearings. This has been an ongoing thing going through the city of Missoula. Of course, this program will last through 2023. This is a program that's constantly ongoing, and they give a year annual update for any adjustments they need to make in the future, depending upon whether they solved affordable housing or not. All right, so moving on to the next meeting. This is Parks and Conservation. Donna Gockler talks about the Parks Department teaming up with the Business Improvement District in the downtown Missoula area. So this is what she had to say about this.
So after I saw the immense interest in adding to Karis Park, it's clear to me we can't put all of those facilities as separate facilities in one park and have a really strong park system. And we have this amazing string of parks on both the north and the south side that are connected by Ron's River Trail and the Milwaukee Trail. And I think that has a lot to do, of course the river is primary, in bringing our community together for festivals and events. At the same time, we're looking at growth policy. We're looking at significant increase in housing and residents living in our downtown. It's one of our most mixed and diverse socioeconomic places, and so I felt it was an incredibly exciting opportunity to partner with the Downtown Partnership and the BID to take advantage of all of the preliminary work that Dover Coal had completed, all of the public process that they had completed, and then piggyback on that process to complete a design development level of detail for Best Reed, East Karis, which is where the fish are, and Karis Park, so that we can look closely at all of those improvements that folks want. And
all right, so that was Donna Glockler, the director of Missoula Parks and Rec, and the emphasis on most of this basically is going to be on the heels of the Higgins Bridge project, which is slated for 2020. The scope of service of the downtown master plan is $141,500 plus an optional scope of $20,000 for environmental engineering. The balance is funded through efforts by the downtown BID and partners. The part of this is going to be happening in the so the design review is up for approval in August of this year. So they're tying the design standards, and they're putting it in terms of just like adding to the Higgins Bridge project, because one of the things that they had to go through is the Parks and Rec department in the first place, just so they could get rid of or move those. I think what they're trying to do is have those in Missoula, the bridges have those walkways or stairs. Yeah, I can't think of the word stairs. Okay, relax, Scott. So the stairs that have exit point from the Higgins Bridge, they're trying to figure out a way to, and so they had to get like permission jurisdiction through the Parks and Rec, and then I guess they started talking, which is probably why this kind of thing started to kind of happen with this improvement as well. Donna Gawker thinks this is a great opportunity that opened the doors for future collaborations with the Business Improvement District.
In case you can't tell, I'm kind of excited about this opportunity because, at least in my experience in doing design to this level, is once you have a shared vision that the community really values, it's amazing what happens. It makes it eligible to apply for grants. It lets us look at all different kinds of funding systems. We become really great partners where we can partner with projects that are occurring along the river, along the trails, and in other development downtown. We know where to apply things like park impact fees or cash in lieu fees if they come within the area. And so there's just so many partners. So I'm very hopeful about this process. Our goal would be to take advantage of Dover Coal to save costs on travel when they come back in September with the down.
All right, so that was Donna Glockler. Like she said, Dover and Coal is one of the folks that are part of the partnership with the BIDs. So in the end, they want to improve the trails between West Broadway, Island Park, Downtown Lions Park, Caris Park, East Caris, Best Reed, and Kiwanis Park. They want to improve connectivity. A lot of the trails are kind of wonky because for the most part, once you start from Caris Park, you go down the trails, you actually have to go kind of inwards, then you go back out to Kiwanis Park. So that's one of the things they want to help improve while they're at this point in their development. And also, one of the closest project that Parks and Recreation are doing are teaming up with Kaboom, which is an organization that is spending upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars by bringing in playground equipment to the Rose Memorial Park, which will be happening really, really soon. So that's pretty much all I have to say about your city council. There's a lot of exciting things happening. There's a lot of grants opportunities, and you can find out more information about your city of Missoula and all these programs as well, because I only touched the tip of the iceberg. I like to get through to the good parts and share it with you, but you guys can get through the rest of the parts by going on to ci.missoula.mt.us. It is a good resource for everything Missoula, government permits, paying your water bill, paying your sewer bill, and all sorts of things as well. If you go to government, you can go to agendas, webcasts, and minutes. I'll zoom in just a little bit more. Let me try this again. Oops. Okay. So back to government. Well, I guess I'm going too fast for the computer. So that about does it for your city council report. I have, let's see, what else do I have for you guys? I have some new programs going to be airing on MCAT this weekend as well. So here are some new programs, and when I come back, I'm going to be talking about all the events and stuff that you guys can enjoy this weekend. And also a nice list of all the summer camps that I'll be kicking off next Monday.
I think trees are spectacular. I often get asked by friends and family, like, am I depressed about what the future holds? Or am I concerned? And I would say absolutely I'm concerned. We have many reasons to be concerned about what the forests of the future look like. As a father, I have many concerns. I want my kids to be able to go find doorways to new worlds, just like John Muir wrote about.
It is, I think there's agreement that the delegates understand it, that we should understand it, as honoring the worth of autonomous individuals, absolutely. But where does that get you in law? It's a pretty thin conception of dignity. Now, you can bring your vision to it as a judge, and we should all be so lucky that we would have more judges who have Justice Nelson's vision. It's just not clear that that's the vision that is expressed in the Montana Constitution. And so we see this we're kind of stuck. Dignity's kind of stuck. After Justice Nelson has left, we haven't seen Dignity doing a ton of work, really, on the court, in the courts anywhere. We haven't seen lawyers bringing forward the claims. Maybe, I hope some of you will. I'll be watching.
Ataturk's War of Independence would begin in May 1919, where he would flee with as many allies as he could into central Anatolia and begin a guerrilla warfare against the European powers and trying to gain a republic of Turkey. His main foes he would fight are Italians and Greeks trying to get their own land in Anatolia, while the high powers of England and France and the Europeans were bickering over what to do with the fallen Ottoman Empire.
You know, there's certain pushes of time where I'm going to be just all about Lake Bottom, you know, when I'm fundraising or when I'm promoting a show, and then I'm like, oh, what about my own music? And then I go on tour the next month and it's all about my own music, and I get to be a musician. And so for me, my journey, especially being here in Missoula, is about balancing it. It might not be a balanced week, but it might be a balanced like 3 months, you know, where 1 month I'm really putting a lot of love into the local music scene, and then the next month I'm out on tour playing my own music.
Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about some events that are happening in and around the city of Missoula. There is quite a few events going on here, but of course, if you're interested in doing some indoor sports stuff, Missoula Indoor Sports Arena, you got your Roots Acre Sports Center, and finally you got Mismo Gymnastics, a great place to stay indoors, especially this weekend because the heavy rain's going to be popping out as well. There's elderberry flute carving with Kevin Peters. Sorry, I'm just... Whew. It's all these allergies that are going on here. I started all the allergies just started kicking in the other day. I was just I thought I missed it, but I guess it just started up again. But anyways, that's nor here nor there. Starting at 10 a.m. This morning at Lolo Pass Visitors Center. Nez Perce tribal member Kevin Peters will be going on this whole weekend from today until the 14th on Sunday. Kevin will be demonstrating the art of elderberry flute carving. He'll be starting with a raw stick of elderberry and demonstrating the process of hollowing and carving necessary to create his beautiful masterpiece. And so this is going to be happening from 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. at the Lolo Pass Visitor Center. Tiny Tales and story time is going to be at the Missoula Public Library starting at 10:30 p.m. They're always looking for kids to engage in learning and reading. It's never too early to have your kids learn new words every single day. Kids Table, Missoula Public Library. This is in cooperation with Missoula Food Bank. They'll have free lunch and activities for kids and their caregivers throughout the summer. And hey, if you want your kids... This is basically just non-discrimination. Any kid can go on here and have a free lunch from 11:30 to about 1 p.m. It's completely and utterly free Monday through Friday, and this happens through June 17th all the way till August 23rd. Yeah, it's all wonderful stuff, and it's just free food. But you have to be under the age of 18. It's just Kids Table. Then, of course, Friday, back-to-back events. Tell a Friend is Art as Magic at 1 p.m. Zootown Arts Community Center is soon she'll be transported to the imaginary world of witchcraft and wizardry in this camp. Students will explore a variety of media, including not too limited to book building, metalsmithing, and jewelry making. This is a 1 to 4 p.m. class. This is for kids age 8 to 16. This is a one-day class, a one-day camp, and this is for $95 or $85 for members. Princess and the Pea. Every week there's always some kind of camp going on, and MCT is one of those camps that will be putting on a performance today at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Two different groups, so you want to make sure that your kid is in the right performance group. The Missoula Children's Theater is proud to present The Princess and the Pea. It's a fun little take on The Princess and the Pea. Residents of the winter wind workers, blizzard bringers, icicle sharpeners, and snow smithers ruled by the Storm King and the Snow Queen. Add to that a prince looking for a proper princess to share the throne. Now imagine the princess and her friend, the Pea, living in a kingdom of green rolling hills and running rivers with her subject of the flowing gardeners. So see as these two worlds collide in this wonderful rendition of The Princess and the Pea. Starting at 4 p.m. and then another showing at 6 p.m. Second Friday, Abstract Painting and Americana, Lake Missoula Tea Company is hosting a Second Friday. You heard the first Friday. Now get ready for Second Friday, starting at 5 p.m. You've recovered from your 4th of July holiday weekend. Come to the Second Friday Abstract Painting and Americana music. See some great abstract paintings and mixed media, and meet the painter, Marlo Crucifisso. Sip on some delicious free tea while you listen to the talented four-piece band, The Wild Examples. This tried and true crew have been playing in various local and non-local bands for years, and this will be going on from 5 to 8 p.m. tonight. You got hip hop camp performance, the ZAC. They do all sorts of camps as well, and at the Top Hat, they're going to be doing the 2019 hip hop camp. I don't even know if it's yeah, I guess it doesn't have anything to do with ZAC. It doesn't even say ZAC. So hip hop camp. And I guess they've been practicing for the whole week. The routine's called Perfected. This event is free, but donations are always welcome to help continue your kids do some hip hopping. The Universe of Stories special event, Harry and the Potters music concert. Missoula Public Library is hosting a Harry Potter themed concert at 7 p.m. So this is spaced. So basically, it's a punk rock band with them. Let's see, the answer is Harry Potter and the Potters, aka Wizard Rock duo Joe and Paul DeGeorge. Joined them as they performed their musical extravaganza concert held in Missoula Public Library parking lot, weather permitting, starting at 7 p.m. So I guess they'll set up at the parking lot and they'll be playing some wizard-themed music. So I have some art clips for you guys, and then I'm going to continue on with some more Saturday events right after this. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's kick things off with some Saturday events. If you guys are interested in doing some Saturday things, getting out and about, you got all those Saturday markets kicking off from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a great opportunity to see some knickknacks, see some locally made stuff, and also locally grown foods. And you guys can check it out in the downtown Missoula area. It's all over. You can't miss it. Intro into whitewater kayaking. Hey, it's summertime. River's starting to get lower and lower. It's a good opportunity to get on the river and hang out. Blackfoot River, the Frenchtown Pond, or sandy beaches, where they will start with equipment overview and underwater comfort. Blackfoot, 9 a.m., they will introduce the basics to whitewater kayaking skills such as the wet exit, stern draw, reverse forward sweep, rudder forward stroke, hip snaps, and T-rescues. And this is a $225 class. It happens this weekend. It's from 9 to 5, both Saturday and Sunday. So if you're interested in doing some kayaking and you have nothing going on the weekend, why not jump on it? Saturday open hours at the Moon of Homestead from 11 to about 5 p.m. You guys get to go check out the homestead owned by the city of Missoula, part of their open space bond. It's now a great opportunity to kind of see how homesteads lived back in the day, and it's upkept by volunteers who get to live in their home and the homestead and just have to take up the property, and they have to give tours. So they have to fulfill their duties as homestead caretakers, and yeah, it's at the Moon Randolph Homestead. Trucker Kids at Travelers Rest State Park is going to be presenting Predators and Prey. Montana's landscapes about wildlife, such as creatures that rely on the certain characteristics to make their way through life. The Trucker Kids activity will examine animal parts like skulls and pelts to find clues about how do animals survive in the wild, learn how the valuable role of all animals in the ecosystem work, and explore what Montana might be like without them. Exploring calligraph with Bev Gluckert. Calligraph, so I'm just like botching this all up. Bev Gluckert is Zach's 2020's Last Best Print Fest honoree. They will be thrilled to have her teaching with us this summer. Calligraph is a versatile plate making process that offers a wide range of creative freedom in developing rich tones and dimensional surfaces with your prints. This happens at 2 p.m. It just goes from 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, and it's $45 or $35 if you're a member, and most of it's for the materials and some costs as well. International Rescue Committee Chipotle fundraiser. Chipotle Rescue Grill is joining the IRC Missoula for the fundraising at Chipotle from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy a delicious burrito knowing that you're supporting refugee families. It's a win-win. Just make sure that you say you are there for the IRC Missoula or show out flyers. So they will receive a portion of the proceeds. All funds raised will go directly to helping refugees in a form of emergency food and housing assistance. And speaking of all sorts of things happening this weekend as well, kicking off on Monday, here are a bunch of these camps that are happening as well. You got the Montana Natural Resource Youth Camp. It's a camp that's happening from July 14th through the 19th, and they'll invite all young ages from age 14 to 18 to spend 1 week in the rustic setting of Lubric Experimental Forest east of Missoula and learn about Montana's natural resource. The accommodations are comfortable, the food is great, and the instructions and friendships are the best. Asterisk. Application deadline is June 24th. But of course, if you are interested in doing that, I don't know, you could always contact Christina Oppengard, Camp Director, 406-243-2773. It kicks off on Sunday at 3 p.m. You can email them through the Montana Natural History Center, and you can find out more information on their website. Grizzly Basketball Day Youth Camp. This is kicking off on Monday. This is from the 15th to the 18th. This is $170, and it's for kids who are in grades K through 7. And it's going to be at the University of Montana. And they usually invite basketball players from the University of Montana to help coach and teach kids and work with kids. So why not have your kids hang out with the basketball greats of the University of Montana. Summer camps, drawing lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, Missoula Arts Museum is doing all sorts of things from 9 a.m. to noon, ages 9 to 12. This is $80 or $72 if you're a member. Learn how to draw basic animal anatomies from a comic book artist. Explore drawing reptiles, bears, cats, and big or small, all the way down to household canine. They'll work from reference materials and one live model. So they might actually just bring their cat in. You can draw their cat. Ballet Arts Academy is doing a camp from 9 a.m. to noon. This is a 3-hour class. This is for kids. This is for kids aged 3 to 8 years old. This is a good opportunity because a lot of times some of these ballet academies ask for a long time commitment, but summer camps is a good way to just get a chance to see if your kids even like ballet, get part of ballet. I don't know, that's so mean about ballet. Ballet is a great form of dance, and it's a fairy tale themed camp, and this is from August, and then they'll have their fairy themed camp from August 12th to the 16th. This camp is going to be starting on the 15th, 9 a.m. to noon. It's $160. How could you ask for more? And then Musketeer Fencing Camp for ages 10 to 14. If you have a young teen who is age 10 to 14, Missoula Fencing Association does a camp from starting at 9 a.m. on Monday. Summer is a great time to explore this full-day camp for kids ages, so I'm assuming it's from 9 to 5. It's a lot of sparring opportunities taught in a positive, safe environment. Camp also includes other activities to improve coordination, concentration, and critical thinking skills. And their address is 1134 Longstaff Street in Missoula. You can always look up Missoula Fencing Association online for more information. Flying Squirrels doing summer camp. Whew, so many summer camps going on here. This is one of them. Summer camps, this is happening from the July 15th through the 19th. This is a 20-person group based on ages 4 to 5, 6 through 8, and 9 to 14. And it's sold by the week. Camps will enroll weekly programs. Each weekly program has 3 of those groups. Experience a healthy, active camp with new friends and fun. This is going to be at the Flying Squirrel starting at 9 a.m. and they do these weekly camps. So they believe it's going to be Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Early drop-offs and late pickups options are available, and you can go to the Flying Squirrel for more information. It's $150 per child for the whole week. And yeah, next week we'll be kicking off our animation camp. Unfortunately, there's no room in our animation camp. We do have a zombie camp. I believe there is some room left available for our zombie camp, and that is for kids age 14 and above. It is a great opportunity for kids to make zombie makeup, make a zombie movie. It is a good way for kids to make horror films and come together making a nice professional setting type film. Most of our other camps are geared towards getting kids started with film, but this one's more for our seasoned kids who want to get involved with filmmaking. All right, so okay, I'm done. Okay, we can relax. All right, I just want to show you one more art clip for you guys, I'm just going to quit the show. Thank you guys for joining me, because, hey, it's going to be the weekend. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. This is starting tonight at 5 p.m. We'll be live on Channel 189 with the kids, talking about the movies that they made, a bunch of documentary, a bunch of great films that they made, a bunch of funny short films that they made as well, so to be a mixture of all their films that they made this week. You get to enjoy it 5 p.m. live tonight on Channel 189. If you missed it, it'll be on our website, mcat.org. If you want to learn more about me, you can always Google me at Wake Up Missoula. Scott Ramph, thank you for joining me, and for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramph. See you later.